Okay, so today we're going to talk about even and odd functions. So hopefully you remember from geometry, we also did it last year in A2, find the image of these points. So I have a reflection over the y-axis. So hopefully you remember, when you flip something over the y-axis, there's a rule. The xy becomes, when you reflect over the y-axis, you change x. So it's negative x, y. So let's say I have the point 3,5. The point 3,5 would become negative 3, 5. So notice that my x values, they are opposite. And my y values stay the same. And just take a quick look at the graph. This graph does not go with, match up with these points. I just wanted to give you a quick look here. So let's just say I take the point, let's say 3. Go to 3 on x. 1, 2, 3 on x. My y value is also 3. And when I go to opposite x, negative 3, I also get 3. So when my x values are the same, when my x values are opposite, I get the same y value. Okay, that is called symmetrical to the y-axis. Symmetrical to the y-axis. Okay, so when you plug in x, you get y, and when you plug in negative x, you also get the same y value. Okay, so let's take a look at a rotation here of 180 degrees. So when you rotate something 180 degrees, you had a rule. So hopefully you remember the rule was you get negative x, negative y. That was when, hopefully your teacher taught it, a rotation of 180 degrees is like when you turn your paper upside down, you get the same exact. It's kind of like across the graph. All right, so let's say we have the point 3,5, and if I rotate 180 degrees, I get negative 3, negative 5. So notice the x values. The x values are opposite, and notice the y values are also opposite. Okay, that's a rotation of 180 degrees. So look at the graph down here. So let's say I have the point, this on 3 on x, my y value is 1. And if I go to negative 3 on x, here's negative 3, my y value is negative 1. This is a rotation, so this graph is a rotation of 180 degrees. So when you plug in x, you get y, and when you plug in negative x, you get negative y. Okay, so let's just look at the notes down here. So an even function is a reflection over the y-axis. Even function is a reflection over the y-axis. So xy becomes negative x, y. So therefore the graph is symmetrical to the y-axis. All right, so let's take a look at an odd function. An odd function is when you have a rotation of 180 degrees. So xy becomes negative x, negative y. All right, so how are we going to determine if a function is odd or even or neither without actually graphing it to see if it's a reflection over the y-axis or it's a rotation of 180 degrees? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to find f of x. So you're going to plug in, so you're going to pick a number for x. You can pick any number that you want. Okay, and then you're going to find f of negative x. So you're going to plug in the opposite x value that you picked for number 1. Okay, so let's take a look at the first function. I have f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 5. Oh, and one other thing is this. I'm just going to move everything up. So just take a look at the bottom. It's just a way to remember. If your results are equal, meaning to get the same thing, the function is even. So think even equal, even equal. If your results are opposite, then the function is odd, opposite odds. Any other type of results after evaluating will result in the function being neither even or odd. Okay, so think equal, even, opposite, odd. All right, so let's take a look. I have f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 5. So I'm going to pick, you can pick any x you want. I'm going to start with f of 2. So you're going to plug in 2 for your x's. So it's 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 5. Just plug that into your calculator. 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 5, you get 6. Now you want to plug in opposite your x. So it's f of negative 2. So it's negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. And f of negative 2 is negative 9. Now notice they are not the same and they're not opposites. So that means these are different. So this is neither. So you're going to put neither because it is not symmetrical to the y-axis and it is not a rotation of 180 degrees. That's a degree symbol. Okay, so flip it over. Let's try some problems on the back. Okay, so on the back I have f of x is equal to 8x squared minus 2x to the 4th. So let's pick f of 3. So it'll be 8 times 3 squared minus 2 times 3 to the 4th power. So plug that in your calculator, and you get f of 3 is negative 90. Now we have to do opposite of x, f of negative 3. So it's 8 times negative 3 squared minus 2 times negative 3 to the 4th power. So f of negative 3, plug that in your calculator, you get negative 90. Okay, so what do you notice about these? These are equal. And equal means even. Okay, so we're going to put it's an even function because it is symmetrical to the y-axis. All right, so let's try number 3. All right, so let's pick a number. Let's do f of 4. So f of 4 is equal to 4 squared times 4 minus 4. F of 4 is equal to 0. Now let's do f of negative 4. So it's negative 4 squared times negative 4 minus 4. So f of negative 4 comes out to be 128. Negative 128. Okay, so this is neither. They're different. So it's neither. Okay, so you're going to write the function is neither because it is not symmetrical to the y-axis and it is not a rotation of 180 degrees. Okay, so let's try the last one, number 4. Okay, so let's do f of 2. So f of 2 would be 2 times 2 minus 2 squared times 2 plus 2 squared. Plug it in your calculator. F of 2 is 0. So now we're going to plug in f of negative 2, the opposite. So it's negative 2 times negative 2 minus 2 squared times negative 2 plus 2 squared. Plug in your calculator and you get 0. Okay, so these are equal. And equal means even. Okay, so it's an even function because it is symmetrical to the y-axis. Okay, so that's it, and we'll work on this in class tomorrow. Have a good night.